Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Some nice little Call of Duty beef and drama back on the menu. Pred versus TJHaLy, a rivalry that's been going down at 8 over the last few days, kicked off a little bit last night, especially as a result of all the drama that's been happening with TJ. Is he on Vegas? Is he not on Vegas? And also Pred probably not still happy with the state of the Seattle Surge. Very much enjoy your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, Breaking Point Fantasy is now open if you guys want to get involved. Link will be down below, all this type of stuff. Obviously, free to enter, cash prizes for the best teams that you guys select. Deadline in a few days' time before the matches begin. You've got $25 to pick your players. This is the team I've gone for. I actually think it's really hard to pick a good team this time because usually what I do is I'll just pick some new player that's just been subbed in that's a $4 pick. But, you know, the guys that put this together, Mack and Brandon, of course, like, you know, they actually have done a bit of a better job this time in making these players maybe slightly more kind of accurately priced here. So Beans is actually a $6 pick already, but I still think Beans could be good value for that $6 pick. I looked through the $4 picks and I was like, man, these guys are going to get tucked into bed because, I mean, there's a lot of Vegas players in there, and Vegas have arguably the hardest schedule online of any team this major. So I think OpTic are the second best team in terms of like hardest run. But yeah, Vegas do not have an easy time, so it was tough to pick any of those. Huke for 5, I thought, I mean, earlier today we discussed the fact that his aim assist is now working properly, so I'm going to take that to be something that Huke is going to be good value for this. And also, the scoring algorithm here isn't publicly available, but it is, what I will say is that performances of the team at the major event are important. So the amount of wins and losses the team gets in the online standings, and also where the team places at the major is very key. And I think I kind of like missed out on thinking that last time round I picked my team, because my team was fine. I was top of the leaderboard after the major 3, after the 3rd week of qualifiers, but after the major I got fried because my players didn't place particularly well. So I wanted to get at least one player here from FaZe, just because, like, you know, they should be guaranteed some decent points at the major, right? And their online run is not too bad either. But of course, FaZe players are very expensive, as are Thieves players, understandably. So yeah, for $25, like, it was pretty difficult to pick a team. I'm sure you guys can do a better job, right? But yeah, when Arcitys, Beans, Huke, and Simp is my team of 4, we'll see if they get fried. But yeah, thought I'd let you guys know what I'm actually rocking with this time. We're going to talk roster mania though again in a little bit here. First, even PaulX here. Wonder when it's going to end. I do wonder exactly what's happening here with Paul and what London are doing, just because, I mean, that London team has been an absolute shambles lately, but still we're hearing no indications they're making a change. Don't really understand why. I know that people are going to say hashtag free Asim, and I can understand why that's the case, but yeah, I guess we'll just see how London get on anymore. I've kind of just given up hope for this organization achieving anything, especially when they've been bought up by the Spanish guys and might well field a Spanish team next season. I would not be surprised at all if that happens. Now, just some follow-up to some drama really between the pro players over the last couple of months or so. As Beans says, now as an official CDL starter, as now established starter player in the CDL, I propose we GA the Vaznev. So this is the thing, a lot of AR players have not been so happy about the state of the Vaznev. Interesting to say, because from an outside viewing perspective, the meta right now is pretty good. The Scar is viable, the Vaznev is viable, and if both kind of players or both, you know, roles are saying the other gun is overpowered, we're probably in a decent position, to be honest. And while, yes, the Vaznev may be very good, and especially on land, the Vaznev arguably gets even better, we're still seeing one, you know, at least one, if not 2 scars on every single map, right? It's the TAC, of course, but people call it the Scar because it's been the Scar in previous Call of Duty games. So, I mean, yeah, look, obviously the Vaznev is very good, but also a 2 SMG or 3 SMG meta is just straight up more enjoyable to watch than 3 ARs on the map, if not 4 ARs, because, man, the game is tough to watch when everyone is playing super slow. Now, you know, Bance obviously has a different opinion. Buff the Vaznev, nerf the TAC, right? So, I mean, yeah, when everyone on the opposite side of the equation is saying the kind of the opposite thing, then it maybe implies that we're actually in an okay position right now. But I wouldn't put it past Infinity Ward to make some questionable changes further down the line. And or even as RC said, subs are blessed, right? So yeah, gets joked by this challenger player who gets absolutely mind-blown as a result. Did want to share though, because I did mention at the end of yesterday's video a kind of interesting tier list that Ben Genesine put together of his best SMG players in the league, and Dashy actually gives his response on this, looks at the numbers and says, hang on a second here, this doesn't make any sense, especially the Asim pick up in that kind of S tier all-star category.
Here, because I do think the...
Wait a second. How the wait, nah. What the am I seeing, Ben? Listen, how is Asim, like, I'm so confused, bro. How is Asim an all-star and then they got Nasty? Like, yeah, nah, he's up there with the Kennys and the, you know what I mean? Like, he's top sub, but like, they're dead last. This has to be the most faded list I've ever seen. I ain't gonna cap. I'm not even gonna cap.
And I think going back and for his video,
what?
Like, I think Nasty kind of at times is a little bit lost in that game mode. So he needs to work on that. But
speaking of some questionable opinions and situations, we've got to discuss this Pred versus TJ thing that was going down on stream during a series of 8s. So Pred and TJ both find themselves actually in a rather difficult situation. Pred is not necessarily stuck on the Seattle Surge, but to a certain degree, he more than likely is. OpTic wanted him, it didn't happen. Surge wouldn't sell. Pred, I think, understandably, is probably rather frustrated about the state of his current team. The whole LeBron on the Cavs thing that he said that he basically is a few days ago was definitely indicative of that. And many would say, wow, Pred's ego's getting out of control. Maybe you guys agree with that. Maybe you guys don't. But on the other side of things, you've got TJHaLy, who is on the verge of getting dropped by the Las Vegas Legion. Now, as of recording this video, we don't know if this is actually happening anymore, just because they were meant to be Too Real and Crimp were going to be the two men they were going to bring in replacement seemingly of TJ and Prolude. But Prolude, I think, is still going to be gone, maybe for Too Real. But getting Crimp off Boston, I don't believe is actually either going to happen anymore or is likely to occur nowadays. Just because, look, as I said yesterday, do Vegas pay the buyout to Boston? Because he's an academy player, they're going to want some money for him. If Vegas think, actually, you know what, like 10k or whatever they want for him, like, that's not worth it, lads, we'll go get someone else for free, and they probably would do something exactly like that. Then, in that situation, TJ's spot might be safe unless they say, you know what, okay, we'll bring in Too Real and iLLeY both from that team and we'll sub them both in because, I mean, that team that just won the Challengers event in Boston, Fellow is now on the Florida Mutineers, Ghosty, well, we believe he is, at least not been confirmed as of recording, Ghosty is now on OpTic, and then, of course, Too Real and iLLeY. It'd be kind of tough for iLLeY, at least, if his entire team gets poached and picked up by the league and he's there stuck on the sidelines still. So we'll see what happens here, but TJ obviously in a bit of a predicament lately, and also is playing Pro 8, and I think he also supports the Eagles that obviously didn't have the greatest time towards the final quarter of the Super Bowl. So yeah, just wanted to share this here between Pred and TJ. Pred was, getting a bit rowdy against TJ, talking a bit of smack, and then TJ, I think, kicks him from the call or something, and then just calls him out for his, like, Aussie accent. And I mean, I don't know, you can say this is all banter, but I think clearly there was a little bit of frustration happening on maybe both sides of the equation here.
Terry's a bit tired, bro. Slow off him, bro.
Byron, where are you going, bro?
His team lost and he got rinsed on 2K. Like, he's just a bit upset today.
Alfred, like, why do you just talk, bro? Just shut
Terry,
hold on.
You're talking like you're 7 foot. You're 4 foot tall.
Bro, you're so fucking loud, bro. I'm actually.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You're not funny, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let me know my plan.
Just why is he roasting you?
User in your channel was kicked.
Oh,
Yeah.
ah. Yeah.
You can hear that guy's voice, bro. He's so loud, bro.
He said, me personally, I'm not gonna take that ban. What you say,
Yeah,
man?
dog,
Started.
Aussie accent, dude. I'm sick of that in my ear, bro. I need to shut his mouth, dude.
So who do you guys think is in the right on this one, right? Is Pred right to kind of call out TJ? Is TJ right to get a bit frustrated about this? Because, of course, as I say the other day, we had this comment from Pred where he talked about he was basically LeBron on the Cavs. And, yeah, it seems to be that Pred isn't so happy being on Surge. But at the same time, is he getting, a bit too... He's obviously talking about TJ being 4 foot tall and all this, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of good banter in a way. But I can understand why TJ might get a little bit frustrated about it. So, I mean, yeah, one of these kind of classic things. But it does mean a little bit that when these guys play, if they do play Surge versus Vegas, if TJ does remain in the league, that things might stay a little bit spicy. But as I say, right, we believe that Crimp is actually still scrimming as it stands, spotted yesterday, because the Elite is starting soon, and we saw last night on the flank that Parasite was talking about the Nagafen, right, or Jared, I believe is his first name, was leaving his team that he was coaching and not coaching in Challengers anymore, probably means he's going to be going elsewhere. And the same story for Beans, for example, right? Like Breach Academy, the other day, Beans was quite clearly gone to the starting team, therefore Doug is now running the main AR. I think Shawnee's going to be the flex there. They've got Kremp and also Pentagram, I believe, is the other man they've now brought into their SMG lineup. But, I mean, that's the thing. If Kremp was also gone to a team like Vegas, that would surely have happened by now, or if it was still in discussions, like, he would probably have gone. But seemingly, Breach is still scrimming with Kremp, which probably implies that he's going to stay there, and Vegas aren't getting him. So maybe TJ TJ safe for now, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily, because I think TJ's been pretty good so far this season, probably marginally underrated from where he's actually, well, the level he's performing at, but still, their SMG line is still a bit of a question mark, and TJ definitely will have to improve to maintain his spot throughout the entire season. We can see that in the numbers here, right? I mean, these were the numbers for the entire team throughout Major 2. Their control, 1 in 5, not so good. Again, their search, 5 in 3, was pretty solid. And you've got to give TJ some credit for being a part of that, right? At 1.21 in S&D, average damage per round was in the S tier for the league at 111, and then, you know, Proloot and Temp didn't have the greatest time. In terms of respawn, though, of course, Temp's going to drop some good numbers in the respawn. Clay as well, I thought, had a good stage, but he was getting absolutely tucked in control, which is really where they need to improve this Vegas team. So, yeah, what do you guys think about this? Of course, as expected, the SMGs not doing quite so hot on this team, but honestly, if we compare it to the Seattle Surge, they have better numbers, but, I mean, man, this is one of the most remarkable cards I have seen in the history of Lionman Cards, to be honest. I mean, check this out. Pred is at a 91 overall, a 1.17 in hardpoint, a 1.32 in control, a 1.05 in surge, then 0.58 for SIB, 0.47 for accuracy. Like, it's remarkable to me that across an entire stage, those numbers are even possible at a pro level at Call of Duty. And then Mack was, you know, obviously not having the greatest time either. So, I mean, look, you can understand if you're Pred. You're looking at these numbers and you're thinking, bloody hell, guys. Like, you know, I am the LeBron of the Cavs, right? And also, he's getting gas to high heaven from everyone, and Karma's saying that he's going to be on OpTic soon and all this. So you can understand it's going to Pred's head a bit, which maybe isn't a bad thing necessarily, because, you know, confidence probably makes you play even better. But, you know, at the end of the day, maybe it's spilling over a bit. Maybe TJ feels that. Who knows? But the numbers do speak for themselves at the end of the day. And the big number to me is this: 0-8 in Search and Destroy, not just online, but also when they went to LAN and got beaten first round by Breach, knocked out top 12. A classic Seattle Surge, top 2 to top 12 performance. Will they be able to regain, though? That's the big question. And still, no changes to this team. Big surprise to me, to be fair, that some of these teams that underperforms, certainly Surge, won't do anything, but, you know, maybe it'll work out for them, because in fairness, Los Angeles Thieves, they stuck by it and it worked, but, you know, obviously they saw success within a few months of sticking by it, whereas this team now has been together a long time and is still dropping top 12 performances at majors. Just a quickly note on the Mutineers as well, because I just wanted to mention some nice Lionman Cards here. Look at this from Bragg. Obviously, he only played a couple of matches, but he had a 2.9 in Search and Destroy across those matches, and then got dropped for TJHaLy in, like, I don't know what they were thinking there. Just hilarious to me. You look at these cards, and obviously Bragg in Search and Destroy has just S tier numbers because he played a couple of matches and they got dropped straight out of the team. TJHaLy came in. Now TJHaLy's been, you know, made to walk the plank, so unfortunate scenes. But 1 in 10 in hardpoint, man, I didn't even notice that until now. Like, that is brutal. And is it really a massive surprise when you've got Dave and Major on your team? Like, I just don't understand what they do. Hopefully now their new roster is going to be better. That's all I'm going to say. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Just one final meme here to close out the video with I thought was quite nice. If you guys know this reference here that Zemos is pointing towards from the, well, it's Neslo, right, from back in the day. If you guys didn't know, then you guys can check it out. But, you know, if you guys do know, then I thought this is pretty entertaining. So hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.